Greetings, fellow Whovians. Whovian Queen here. Hope you're having a good week so far. Well, our look at the 11th Doctor era continues on with Vincent and the Doctor. So, let's take a look at it. The 11th Doctor takes Amy to the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, where they admire the work of post-impressionist painter Vincent van Gogh. The Doctor discovers a seemingly alien figure in a window of the painting, the Church at Auvers, and decides they must travel back in time to speak to Vincent around when he painted the painting. In 1890, Auvers-sur-Orsay, they find Vincent, a lonely man, at a cafe. A young girl is murdered outside the cafe. When the trio go out to see what happened, they are stoned by locals who blame Vincent's insanity for the killing. The Doctor and Amy talk Vincent into letting them stay the night, and they return to his home. That evening, Vincent confesses that his works have little value to anyone else. Amy goes outside and is attacked by a creature that only Vincent is able to see. He sketches it for the Doctor, who identifies it as a Crephaeus. After initially feeling distraught that everyone leaves him, Vincent joins the Doctor and Amy at the church to paint it. Vincent begins to paint and soon spots the Crephaeus inside. The Crephaeus inside. Vincent saves the Doctor and Amy from the Crephaeus, which the Doctor realizes is blind. The Crephaeus is fatally impaled on Vincent's easel when it tries to lunge at Vincent. Vincent empathizes with its pain. Aww. The Doctor and Amy take Vincent and the TARDIS to the Van Gogh Museum, the Van Gogh exhibit at the Musée d'Orsay. Vincent is stunned at the display and becomes emotionally overwhelmed when he overhears art curator Dr. Black say that Vincent was the greatest painter of them all and one of the greatest men who ever lived. They return and emotionally change Vincent to the past and say their final goodbyes. As the Doctor and Amy return to the present, Amy is confident that there will be hundreds of new paintings by Vincent waiting for them, though the Doctor is less certain. Amy is crushed to learn that Vincent still committed suicide weeks after their adventure, at the age of 37. Aww. The Doctor explains that life is a mixture of bad and good, and while their brief encounter with Vincent couldn't undo all the bad, they added some good to his life. The evidence is in Vincent's displayed works. The face no longer appears in the church, and now a vase of 12 sunflowers bears the inscription, "For Amy." Aww. So let's take a look at some continuity here in this episode. Images of the first and second Doctors are displayed on the Doctor's mirror device and print out from the TARDIS's typewriter. The episode presents these trips as the Doctor's compensation to Amy for her fiancé Rory Williams' death in the previous episode, which Amy herself does not remember since Rory was consumed by a crack in the universe and thus erased from time. Van Gogh is able to sense Amy's sadness at Rory's death, and the Doctor later addresses Amy and Vincent as Amy and Rory, respectively. And now into the Productions episode, beginning with the writing. Writer Richard Curtis was previously executive producer on the Doctor Who spoof The Curse of Fatal Death, a one-off comedy special written for comic relief by showrunner Stephen Moffat. Based on this experience, Moffat asked Curtis to write an episode of Doctor Who. Curtis had enjoyed the show's historical episodes and felt comfortable writing one. He had the idea of a story centered on Van Gogh for a long while, and was particularly interested in the fact Van Gogh never knew he would be famous, as well as this inspirational story. Curtis was also interested in depression, the price paid for it. He wanted to convey that the Doctor could rewrite time, but Van Gogh's demons were out of his reach. Moffat was enthusiastic about the story idea. Curtis asked Moffat to criticize anything and everything, and later said he was very honest. Executive producer Piers Wenger and director Johnny Campbell also critiqued the script. Moffat told Curtis that it needed to start quicker, and that the meeting with the Doctor and Vincent was dull and needed to be something cute like Curtis had done in his films. He also noted that the Doctor did not talk as much as Curtis had written, and recommended Curtis watch some episodes to see he was rather efficient in the way he talked. Curtis enjoyed the experience, commenting that it was fun to work within boundaries rather than doing it all himself. After seeing a read-through performance by leads Matt Smith and Karen Gillan, Curtis made more changes. He commented that it was easy to write for them as they were so delightful and modern and relaxed. Curtis's original title for the episode was Eyes That See the Darkness, but he said this was vetoed. Curtis wanted to write for Doctor Who because he thought it would be, quote, something my kids would like. When writing Vincent and the Doctor, Curtis put up prints of Van Gogh paintings around the house as well as a board with index cards outlining the plot. His children helped come up with some ideas. Gillen commented that the story had a different style and approach and was more character-driven. Though it was a subject he knew quite a lot about, he still read a 200-page biography of Van Gogh, which was more research than he normally would have done if working on other projects. He took Van Gogh very seriously. As such, he wanted to be truthful rather than cruel and refused to write any jokes about Van Gogh's ears after he famously cut one of them off. However, he did incorporate other humor as he naturally wanted to try to make things funny. And now finally onto casting and filming. Curtis said that casting an actor to play Van Gogh was done carefully, as he wanted him to feel the audience as Van Gogh, not like a bloke they've seen acting lots of other parts in an orange wig. Tony Curran was ultimately cast as the part. Curtis called him a wonderful actor who really could not look more like Van Gogh. Curran, Smith, and Gillen got to know each other very well, which Gillen hoped would be evident in their chemistry in the episode. Bill Nighy appears uncredited as the Musée d'Orsay's expert on Van Gogh. Nighy was rumored to have been considered for the role of the Ninth Doctor when the show was revived. Campbell stated that they were very fortunate to have Nighy in the role, whom he believed was someone people paid attention to, or the audience needed to pay attention to his character as he said facts which would become important later in the story. The episode was filmed on location in Trogir, Croatia, in the same production block as The Vampires of Venice, in which sees Trogir depicting 16th century Venice. Filming took place around November 2009. The scenes of the church were filmed at the Llandaff Cathedral in Wales, while the National Museum Cardiff doubled for the interior of the Musée d'Orsay. Some of the sets were intended to reference paintings, such as Van Gogh's bedroom. One such set was the cafe where the Doctor and Amy first meet Van Gogh, which was modeled after the painting Café Terrace at Night. This proved challenging for the art department, who extensively looked for a suitable building in Croatia to use. Once they found the one they wanted, they had to redesign it to look like the painting. This involved putting an awning up, changing the windows, and adding a platform with tables and chairs. The song played during the ending scene is Chances by the British rock band Athlete. So overall, this is just an amazing, amazing episode, and I definitely love it. So overall, I give Vincent and the Doctor 5 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Until the next time as we take a look at The Lodger. Well, hope you enjoyed that review, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, make sure to don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified about when I upload videos. And if you want to help support this channel, be sure to check out my Patreon page. Link as always is in the description below. Well, until next time, this is Hoovy and Queen saying, oh my giddy aunt! When I say run, run! I've reversed the polarity of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo! Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.